me get some chocolate. I need some chocolate.
Oh,
Stu's sitting
standing
here
in
yelling
line.
at me.
Oh man, standing in
Oh,
line for movies and when's that going to happen again?
I don't know, man. These
Yeah.
boosters.
Yeah. We'll see.
It's going to have to be like once every 3 months.
Right. I like how people are, they're saying, well, when are we going to go back to, not wearing masks and this and that? And I'm like, well, I'm always going to wear a mask if I go on public transportation. I don't care if it's 4 years from now. It's like, yeah, I'm going to be wearing a mask when I go on public transportation.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to be part of my regular packing stuff. For the most part, I'm not going to wear masks out in public for the rest of my life. But man, I'm going to have them around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to have them around. So that just makes sense.
Some of my students and I were talking about this the other day over Zoom for that show I want to do. And I was talking about like people not wearing masks over their noses and what my sister says to them. She's usually in her scrubs. And she just comes up to people that aren't wearing them over their nose. And she says, yeah, I work with COVID patients pretty much all day. You're going to pull that up or I might give it to you. And she says they scramble.
Right. That'll work.
And it's just like, well, why are you scrambling now, you idiot? Anyways, one of my students, really funny. She goes, well, I've always had, asthma. I have this like horrendous cough. It just sounds awful.
Mm-hmm.
And they were walking down the street, and this guy was walking towards them. He had just gotten on his car, and he was not wearing a mask. And she just let one go, and he turned on a dime and went to his car. He was on the same side of the street, just zoop,
grab that mask that he left in there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She just laughed.
Yeah, I mean, I was my mask is somewhere right. It's right here. Right here, because I was just out, keep it around my neck. I don't wear it in the car, I don't, I'm not wearing all that kind of stuff. But and I don't wear it when I walk around at all times when I'm just like walking down the street. But second I get anywhere near anybody, like within eye shot of them, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put this up because I'm, even if that
just
person is like turning and going that way, it's like, yeah, just so you know, I see you, this and that. And so every so often you're walking along and somebody suddenly just pops up on you, like come around a corner, they open up a door and there's like, boom, they're like, oh crap. And then you're like, oh, excuse me, here, let me put this on. But I don't, it's just as a thing of respect. I don't keep it on at all times, but I keep it with me and prepared to put it on. I feel bad if I've had to turn around. You get in a car, I drive away. I usually keep some in the car, but sometimes they migrate out because they got to get washed or just tossed. And
the worst one I had is I went into a store and I'd walked there. And all I needed to get was like an onion. And I was walking up, I was like, oh crap, I don't have my mask. And so I just t-shirted it, and I felt like a complete douche. And there was nobody in there but him, but I just felt like a douche. But here's the funniest one I've ever seen, legitimately. So see my notebook here, right? So you can imagine a shape like this, and it's a woman's wallet.
Okay.
A long wallet you can put cash in long, and you open it, it's got a little
yeah, it's basic checkbook size,
checkbook size. Yeah. Okay. I was in a gas station up the street, and there was a woman in there, and she was doing this,
just holding it in front of her, like she was just nearsighted trying to read.
it was on her mouth, on her nose, like this, just walking around, and I was just like,
right.
I wish sometimes I wasn't such a nice person.
So for those who are listening, he looked like a person who's embarrassed about their teeth. So he's basically just,
or they really like the smell of the leather of their checkbook.
He's walking around like
it was ridiculous, and it just what is going on, man?
Yeah.
So I know we're about to go off on this on a different subject, but just to if it becomes a thing, we can put on a separate doodad. So we were just talking about COVID crap, people not wearing their masks, and one thing I do want to report is that I have quite a few loved ones who are conservative, and sometimes I really don't understand where they're coming from. And sometimes it actually kind of hurts because I just kind of like, I want to wrap my head around it because I want to understand people,
right?
Especially people that I love. But but just something to report from that. So I have some conservative loved ones who are so pro-mask. They might be more pro-mask than I, and I am utterly pro-mask. But my sister, for instance, in Michigan, she's the one that I, in a previous part of this conversation that I said, we'll walk up to people without masks.
Right.
And it's the only reason I'm saying is because I just want to report not all conservatives. It's literally just, well, it's too many. Let's be perfectly honest.
Right.
But not all. And I guess we could report the opposite, but I just don't think it would be that wide. That there are liberals who won't wear one. I'm sure there are.
Right. Oh, well, just like the liberals who probably wouldn't have taken a vaccine if Trump had gotten reelected
at all.
Right.
And I would have.
Yeah.
After some study.
Yeah. Like now is a perfectly fine time. If they rolled it out in October, I've been like, what? That has been accelerated too fast. But yeah, so there's to stay,
but I've not seen that play out yet.
That on the left, yeah.
Because again, I have some super liberal friends who are anti-vaxxers. I've never understood it. I really don't understand it. And I don't know. I haven't seen it played out yet. I have not seen stories of such. I don't know what the anti-vaxxers are up with or up doing.
Well, I mean, there was a thing in LA a month ago where they disrupted a LA stadium.
Yeah, I remember that.
Site.
Was that anti-vaxxers or was it just like liberal side anti-vaxxers?
Oh, I don't know.
Because to me, I remember them being like QAnon, where it was just like you're going to get a chip inserted.
But it was still, or they could have, it could have been just a marriage, of the two,
Yeah.
It's like getting your Nation of Islam and your Klan people together or something,
I love that. Remember that old cartoon that was just showing them arguing with each other, this hick and this extremist Muslim, and then finding out how much they actually agree with. It was just it was so clear.
Okay.
The
best version of that though is Black Jeopardy with Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He goes off and they're like,
because they're just all distrusting of the man. It's so perfect. I love that one. Black Jeopardy is classic. Don't tell me that Saturday Night Live doesn't have good stuff, because modern Saturday Night Live, because Black Jeopardy is just knocks it out of the park every time for me.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
So anyway. This COVID thing, I'm really worried. I do have an appointment. 2 days. In 2 days for my first.
It's in an hour.
I was like, holy some moly. Actually, no, not 2 days. Tomorrow. It's tomorrow.
Sunday.
But did you go to that link I gave you?
Mm-hmm.
My turn. You didn't get it?
No,
I are almost exactly the same, except for the educator deal.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's what tipped the scale for me.
Yeah.
That I teach children.
Right.
Huh.
Yeah.
Who knew? Yeah. That just doesn't seem right. Now that it's one thing to like say, oh, I wonder. It's one thing to see it reported on the news. This is happening and other people are not happy about it. But it's another thing to be friends with people who should have it way sooner than me.
Right.
So why? It just...
Hey, somebody was saying, who was it? That their dermatologist offices were getting it, all got it. And it's because they're caregivers, but it's like, it's dermatologists. It's not.
But it's because they have to get close to somebody's face, maybe?
That's like, that's not the high priority of the caregiving ones.
No, yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
agreed.
Yeah,
and I still don't know what I'm going to do because I told you the story, and I'll give it shorthand here. Yeah. That I found out about this new California strain, and I started to freak out, and ended up doom scrolling till and
texting
early
me
morning.
At what time?
Midnight.
I caught it in the morning, and I'm like, what was he doing? I tend to turn my ringer
and off. I think that's one of the reasons I got an appointment so quickly, because I literally started doing it at like 2:30 in the morning. So it was like no problem.
Right.
I had a problem with it saying it didn't load correctly, and I backed up and then chose another time, because it looks like they what they do is give you a field of times. You just click on one, but if you're clicking on it at the same time somebody else is, that it's taken.
Right.
Then you just have to back up and choose another time that's close by. No instructions on when to arrive. However, it's a drive-through, which I mean, I'll report on this. I'll report on this. This will be a subject, because it just seems so. I know it's an emergency. I'm not actually complaining. I'm just seeing some oddities. I'm going to drive through the parking lot of the Oakland Coliseum. It's actually the arena parking lot. I'm sure there's going to be this back and forth sort of thing, a queue, right? These poor bastards have to give shots to people with their cars running all day long.
Right.
And all they have is a mask. That's ridiculous. Now, here's the other thing. It's standard when you get this vaccine, specifically because this one was pushed through kind of fast, that you have to stick around for 15 minutes to see if you go into anaphylactic shock. What? Is it going to be like the drive-through parking lot? We're like, oh, well, you're fried. We don't have fries ready. Just pull into the number one. We'll come back after you. Right. No. Right. So I'm so curious how this is going to turn out. It's going to be this.
It might be.
You're gonna go in there, and they're gonna blank, and then they're gonna pull you into a spot.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, it's probably going to be kind of like the way it works at Best Buy, where you go up for your digital order and you drive up to the front and they say, excuse me, sir, what you give your thing, and you show them the thing, and they go, okay, hold on, and they talk to somebody else, and then they have you go park over to the side, and then they go to the next person, and then someone comes over and says, they get your card, they look at your license, whatever, and so then the person comes out and finds you and goes, oh, okay, this is your stuff,
Yeah, same with Safeway.
Yeah. So,
but Safeway, there's two slots.
Right.
It's still not very popular, apparently, because I go to the biggest Safeway that there is in the area, in Rockridge, and there's 2 spaces for pickup, and I've never not had one, and I've often been the only one. So, by the way, that system is fucked up. They got to fix that. Let me just finish by saying I will report back. I think that's fascinating on some level. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I don't know how soon I have to. I have to be in line. Is the shot going into my arm at 2:50? So I'm going to show up 2 hours early. Is what I'm going to do.
Do you have a decent recording app on your phone?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I definitely will, to take notes at least, at the very least.
Take notes.
All right, cool. Thanks for watching this snippet.
If you're interested in listening to the full conversation in one continuous spot, you can check out the entire podcast on Spotify or any other podcast delivery service you might have. All availability will be shown in the description.
And make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to be bugged by us for the rest of time, click that little bell.
Thanks, everybody.